Stop trying to force your kids to call that doggone stranger daddy. Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Jones. I'm a licensed therapist. I've been counseling women and men who've experienced abuse, as well as those who are perpetrators of abuse and other violent crimes. The commenter here says, it happened to my siblings and I. Abusive stepdad. Didn't call him dad even 13 years later. Parents even tried to force us to call him dad. Partially, I get it, but we have a biological dad and he was threatening to hurt us when we were 4 to 5. Super alcoholic parents by age 12. Anyway, going on to say that there are parents, I see this a lot with moms, even on television, on social media, what have you, that are forcing their children to call a stranger daddy, or even a dangerous stranger daddy. And it could go both ways, so switch the roles, because fathers can also force their children to call the person that they're with mom. And this could be a person that they're not even married to. It's one of the reasons why I have a hard time with that show, Love After Lockup or Life After Lockup, where people fall in love with someone who's in prison or jail, and then they get out and shack up with a prisoner, somebody that they really don't know a whole lot about, that was what was going on behind bars. One of the things that I've noticed is that these women with these little kids were often, forcing their children to talk on the phone to these inmates, or, these inmates would, move into their home with them and forcing their children to call him daddy. Hey, say hi to your dad, kids. And this isn't their child's father. But, they just have this sort of practice of forcing their children to call a random stranger daddy. And, believe it or not, I've actually fallen out with family members who've done something very similar because I don't agree with it. First of all, you're trying to force a relationship onto a child. You're also, you're getting your child to try and lower their defenses by, enticing them with an attachment figure in their life. So you're trying to entice them with a daddy figure, whether you and their daddy's not there anymore, their daddy's gone, whatever the case may be. You're trying to get them into a ready-made daddy, and you're trying to use your kids to force a ready-made daddy relationship. You're also trying to make sure that man doesn't go anywhere, because if my kids are attached to him, he will feel obligated to stay with me, because now my kids have formed a relationship with him and they call him daddy, and that's something serious. Surely he would never walk away from us, knowing that he has these ready-made children for him. So, I don't believe in forcing children to do that. Again, it puts the expectation and the onus on your children to do the heavy lifting in the relationship. And I'll bet you a lot of these people who get into situations like that, when that man or that woman leaves, if they leave, or if that relationship doesn't work out, guess who is responsible for doing the heavy lifting of the burden for that man or that woman being gone? You guessed it. If you guessed the children, that's a sure way to start the parentification process of your children. Again, is forcing them to accept whatever okie doke scenario, that you're on board with at the moment. And a lot of times children that are put into this situation, you can also see, very similar scenarios on Love After Lockup. A lot of times these people are touching children inappropriately. They're doing things inappropriate with the children, being abusive and whatnot. But guess what? Mom doesn't want to hear it. Dad doesn't want to hear it, because that's your dad. You're going to have to suck it up. Don't you dare ruin this relationship for me. Let me know what you guys think.